Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're back doing another Guilds of Ravnica Intermediate Swiss Draft League. The rare here is Amara, Soul of the Accord. I haven't played with her yet, but I've played against her many times. She's a great card, whether you're using her for convoke value or just attacking with her and making soldiers. Really awesome card. I like Amara a lot. Certainly worthy of a first pick. There's also City Watch Sphinx in here, which I like, and Luminous Bonds. Those are the other two notable, powerful first pick cards. But Amara it is. Follow-up pick. I love Might of the Masses, and that's going to work really well with Amara. There's also other good cards in here. We have Darkblade Agent Direct Current, Healer's Hawk, Pitiless Gorgon. Those are all pretty powerful cards, but I'm very happily taking Might of the Masses. Big game changer. Feeling good. Inspiring Unicorn, geez. We are just getting Synergy City over here. Works great with Amara. Definitely wants to do the same thing that Might of the Masses wants to do, which is get a bunch of little creatures out there. So, really good. More notable picks. I'm a big Electrostatic Field advocate. I'm maybe one of the few Portcullis Vines advocate. I love that card. Whisper Agent's very good. Siege Worm, making sense for what we're trying to do too, is a big finisher. But I would say Inspiring Unicorn is the strongest card remaining in that pack, so I feel good about that. The pick now, we can take Gird for Battle. It's a good card. I would say it's more for Boros than Selesnya, but certainly fine in Selesnya too. It's a powerful effect. Or we can take the Siege Worm now and start working towards some Convoke cards. Both options are good. There's also a Gatekeeper or Gargoyle rather in here. We have Portcullis Vine. Again, that's much more of a Golgari card, but it does work with Convoke as well. Gives you some defender payoffs. So yeah, Gird for Battle versus Siege Worm. Gird for Battle's uncommon. I'm feeling it a little bit more here. Uncommon, one drop, pretty powerful effect. We'll take it. Another Gird for Battle, Sworn Companions, Siege Worm, Weary Okapi. All of these are good. I think I'd take another Gird for Battle though. I've played Selesnya Beatdown before. It's good. Certainly good. Okay, now we have Iron Shell Beetle and Hunted Witness. I personally like the Beetle. It's going to work well with the Unicorn, the Might of the Masses, even Gird for Battle, I suppose. I like Hunted Witness too, but I think I'm going to opt for the Beetle here. I just find that it really lets you... It actually works surprisingly well in aggro because it kind of... That +1/+1 counter gets you a surprise attack, typically. They don't see the counter coming. So your 2/2 gets to become a 3/3 and attack into their 2/2. It's good. A late Might of the Masses. There's also a late Flower Flourish. Both of the cards are good for our deck, but Might of the Masses I have to go for. It's just cheaper. They had to make it uncommon. I mean, this card used to be a common. And then they made it uncommon, probably because it's so powerful. So we've got a very strong foundation for an aggressive Selesnya build. Okay, here we could take the Golgari Guildgate. I'm okay taking the Righteous Blow. I'm not a huge fan or advocate of this card, but when you're playing aggro, it kind of makes sense as a means to just get a bunch of damage in early. I'm not really interested in Ceratok, and splashing for black is possible, though not super likely. I mean, if I could have a deck that topped out at Inspiring Unicorn and was basically all 1 and 2 drop creatures, I think we'd be in good shape. Like there's a Siege Worm here, but we can just take the Hunted Witness and probably be fine with double Might of the Masses, double Gird for Battle, Unicorn, Beetle. We've got the works to support this card, so we probably don't even need Siege Worms. Here I'm fine taking a Pitiless Gorgon. It is double green in our deck, but I mean there's also a take heart, but we're a little bit creature light right now, and I've been very impressed with Pitiless Gorgon throughout this entire format. Kind of does exactly what you want. Blocks their biggest guy or attacks into their biggest guy. Either way, you're happy. Here we'll go Beetle number 2. Still just really sticking to this same game plan of very, very cheap and high value spells here. Okay, we get the Siege Worm now. I'm fine taking it. I totally think we can play it even in a 16 land deck if we can amass enough cheap creatures here. It should be no problem. And then I'm still totally fine playing it in our aggro deck as like a 5 mana 5/5 trampler. Okay, Siege Worm number 2 seems more powerful than these other 2 spells. Vigilance technically does work well with Convoke, and the counters, I suppose, too, but I'm still going to go Siege Worm. Here we'll cut the Grappling Sundew, though we don't want to play it. Well, last pick, playable spell, though. Playable and on color with us, but I think ultimately it likely will not make the deck, but we'll see. Okay, pack 2, and we're probably just looking at a status statue, which would have made the Golgari Guildgate pretty reasonable pick, but we still have an opportunity to find another one, and we can always just play status, which I think is actually a pretty decent effect. Adds to our 1 mana combat trick collection here. And to be honest, there's just nothing else in here we need, or yeah, we need it all, so we'll take it. Flight of Equinox, something big. We have Fresh-Faced Recruit, which might make the most sense for us. There's also Selesnya Guildgate, but we'll take the Recruit. I think it makes a lot of sense in here with the Unicorns, the Might of the Masses, the Gird for Battles. Even the Righteous Blow works well with the First Strike in conjunction with, and the Ironshell Beetles. Actually, there's just a lot of good synergies with having a First Striker 2-drop in here. So we'll take it. Another Might of the Masses. Well, you can never really have enough, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. If you just get enough of these cheap little dinker creatures, these things are going to win you the game. So we'll take it. Over the Gorgon and the District Guard. Maybe we'll even wield a Gorgon, or at the very least the Golgari Guildgate, which we can play in here. Luminous Bonds seems like a pretty clear pickup for us. There's a Blade Instructor as well, but we'll take the Bonds. It's a sensible pick. Here we have Rock Charger, which I think we just take. There's also Parhelion Patrol, which would be good. Centaur Peacemaker, which is not what our deck wants to do. Vigorspore Worm, which is more Golgari, and Underrealm Lich, which is a good card, but not worth the splash, considering what we're trying to do. If we were more mid-range, I'd be happy to attempt to splash it, but Rock Charger is pretty much exactly what we want as well. Good with our Beetles and everything else. Here I think we'll slam a Parhelion Patrol. Evasion is a really big deal in aggro decks, and this being able to buff at least a few of our creatures and working really well alongside the Beetles we already have, I really like it a lot. So we're going to take it over the Guildgate. I want the Guildgates too. I like the idea of the fixing, but to me it just makes more sense. Aggro in particular really needs that evasion, and These are good evasive creatures. Okay, here we'll just take a Golgari Guildgate. It lets us technically play the statue, which I think is good. And we don't really want a Vigor Spore Worm. 6 mana is a little bit out of our price range of what we're interested in. Here we can take another Golgari Guildgate. There's a Peacemaker, which we're still not interested in. Pax Favor, which I like the card personally. Although, yeah, we have space for 4 cards and we only need 3 creatures. It's totally possible. I'd also, I think, happily upgrade that over a Righteous Blow. Or we could take another Golgari Guildgate, which I think is unnecessary. We'll take the Pax Favor. There's a pretty good chance that it can make the deck here. And actually, yeah, Convoking with Amara too is very nice. Just being able to get the extra damage in of Might of the Masses and Pax Favor, I really can't stress enough how important that is for aggro decks. To be able to use it as a combat trick or as a means of pushing through the extra damage to get the win. Really don't need any of this. I guess we'll take another Pack Beast. Okay, here, I think we'll take the Guildgate. I don't think any of these cards are likely to make the deck. Hitchclaw Recluse doesn't really have the power that we're looking for. Guardian is okay, just not really what I'm looking for either. Don't want to splash for Lurcher. Equinox, even with Convoke, is probably too much for what I'm looking for, and Collar the Culprit's more of a sideboard card. Since we're likely to play 16 lands anyway, I think getting the Selesnya Guildgate is probably a good idea. There's a 10th District Guard, but even at the additional color cost, I'd still prefer to have the Death Touching Gorgon. And to be honest, I'd prefer to not play the Pack Beast. I wouldn't mind even just playing one Siege Worm or getting out of that range. Alright, we'll take a Blade Instructor. Obviously more of a Boros card, but quite good with what we're doing too. Alright, we'll just cut the Selesnya card. I'm not going to play either. I guess we'll take the Forager. And a Molder Hawk. Okay. So, on to pack 3, where basically have a deck. Some definite upgrades I wouldn't mind doing here, but we've got a good thing going. Alright, final pack here. I think we're going to start off the Luminous Bonds. Seems fine. Nothing else in here we're interested in, really. Tajic, geez. There's some good, definitely some good Boros cards here. We have Sworn Companions. We also have Dissident. Sworn Companions is very good with the triple Might of the Masses and the Unicorn and the Convoking Siege Worms, but we already have quite a few 3-drops. For curve purposes, we could take the Companions. I do think it's better for our deck than Dissident. I think we'll just take the better card here, despite, like I said, kind of already having quite a few 3-drops. I don't think it's a big deal. Okay, we can take Patrol number 2. There's also Elemental, but I think we'll just, because we're at 14 creatures right now with the Companions, let's probably cut the Righteous Blow. Bring in the Parhelion Patrol for now as our 24th card. This is a deck, so now we're just pure upgrade mode. We can take the Healer's Hawk, or we can take a 3rd Luminous Bonds. If we take a 3rd Luminous Bonds, what do we cut? Could be a status statue. Then we don't have to do the Golgari Guildgate anymore. It's kind of sensible. Healer's Hawk, we probably take a 3rd Bond. I really like the Hawk in here a lot. I really like the Stray a lot, but we probably just go Bonds. and be okay with that. A deal with everything 3-drop removal is pretty good. So we can take the Okapi here and maybe cut one of the siege worms. Can also keep the siege worms as big finishers. I'm okay with either of those. So now we have a Wood Shaper to give us a little card advantage. I wouldn't mind that actually, or a Contraband for sideboard. We can probably take a Wood Shaper. Perhaps play it over one of our siege worms. We do have triple Luminous Bonds, which is pretty good with the Wood Shaper actually, being able to find one of our premium removal spells. Obviously a 4-mana 2/1 is not good, but a 4-mana 2/1 put a Luminous Bonds in your hand is very good. Luminous Bonds number 4. That's pretty crazy actually. We're gonna do it obviously, but at this point we may just have to cut like a Pax Favor. It's a lot of Luminous Bonds. Alright, let's just take another Peacemaker here. I suppose I can bring these in against the Boros deck. Since well, yeah, we probably have a better late game plan against them. I'm not sure. Just because if we get to the stalemated board, we at least have some Might of the Masses, which obviously become much bigger payoffs in the mid game. Guess there's another Golgari Guildgate. We're not going to play the Ceratok anyway. Dissident, I think, does actually make the deck. I'm not 100% what I play it over yet, but I certainly don't think this deck would get hurt by playing another 2-drop creature. Let's see here. We could take the Elemental. I don't think we sideboard into that. There's a chance we sideboard into the Restorer. Once again, if we're playing against like Izzet, we could bring in the Peacemakers and the Restorer, and it probably would not hurt us very much. Generous Stray, I definitely want. I'm going to have to really think long and hard about how exactly to best bring these spells into the deck. This is a nice sideboard card to get late. Okay, so yeah, we've got to do some thinking here. We can just completely abandon ship on the Siege Worm plan. And that might actually be fine for us. It just doesn't seem like something that our deck needs. I think in terms of the weakest creatures in the deck, it's probably like a Blade Instructor. Yeah, and even though Siege Worm's not weak, it feels like I'm okay cutting it. Because this is still 15 creatures. The Might of the Masses can get us some wins. There's no, like, obviously no high impact creatures, but that's not the point of this deck anyway. The point is buffing them up or flying over top. We have at least a few means to buff them up. We have a lot of hard removal. Yeah, I think I can get behind this, actually. I think this is fine. So we want more white than green. So this would be 9/8, which I think is pretty reasonable. We do have the double green, but I think we're doing 9/8. Yeah, this is a good looking deck, definitely. I've had some success with Selesnya aggro before, and I think the plan here is actually pretty good. So this is how we'll run it. Looks good to me. I mean, another option is to, in fact, bring in the siege worms as like some big flashy finishers for this deck. It's not a bad idea. It might be a good idea. We'd have to cut once again the weakest creatures in the deck, which at that point might be a Hunted Witness and like maybe a Gorgon. And if we did something like this, would it be better? It could be. It might make more sense to do something like this. It just gives us some higher impact in the middle game without losing too much on the front end. Not having to worry as much about the double green is nice. I can get behind this too. This might be a little bit more favorable for us. Okay, cool. Let's do this. We'll see you round one. All right, we're in round one. We're gonna keep this hand. Okay, they go mountain. Play against Is It. Let's get Amara down. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is play a forest, play the beetle, pump the Amara, attack, and then if they block, we can just Mighty the Masses, kill the Piston Fist, and still be netting a fairly big board. And in fact, next turn we can just cast the Siege Worms. So I think we've got a pretty killer plan going here. So let's make sure we're doing the math right here. Pumping Amara here, attacking with Amara, we're going to have 3 creatures. Yeah, we're good. In fact, geez, Might of the Masses even right now would be enough to get past this Cyclops. So that's pretty cool. Pretty clear telegraph, but I don't think it matters. Yeah, in fact, yeah, they're not even interested in dealing with that. So, okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm certainly fine with this. Okay, so I think we just attack with Amara and then play a Siege Worm. Okay. Okay, that's I presume to be lethal here. Let's see. We already have 5 creatures, so we can give plus 10. Yeah, that's lethal. So, is there a way to play the Siege Worm? Doesn't look like it. Post-combat, I suppose we can, but we're not going to. We're just going to attack with everything here. Actually, do we have lethal? Yeah, because she's going to spit out something. And then with the double pump, it's going to be plus 6. So, yes, we do have lethal. And that can't block anyway. So, Maniacal Rage on a Cyclops does not do that much. Okay. Well, that's a lot of damage. So, playing against Izzet, aggro, I presume. So let's swap the deck up here a little bit. We're gonna, wow. They don't even want to play the rest of the match there, huh? Jeez. All right, we'll see you round 2. Match 2 here, playing first. That is definitely a keep. Good hand. Looks like Boros here, which means we'll likely be doing our sideboard plan again. Naya. Okay. Get the rock charger down. Sworn Companions, okay. Parhelion Patrol is a great draw. I'm trying to think which one I like the most. Patrol can pump the Charger. The Unicorn pumps the team. One's more color intensive. I'm actually not 100% on which one I like more. The Patrol having Vigilance and giving permanent buff, I think I'm going to err towards, but I suppose the Unicorn is slightly more aggressive, isn't it? It is. It's an additional 2 points of damage because it pumps itself and it's going to pump this. So, all right, we'll go Unicorn. Okay. Take some damage here. Wow, gird for battle too. So if I gird, let's count up damage here. 3, 5, 8, 10, 13, 16 points of damage. Wow. Or we can play the Patrol and set up for the damage next turn, which I also like. I think we probably do that. So we're attacking here like this. The Rock Charger is going to give the Unicorn flying, and then the Unicorn pumps the team. We're going to play the Patrol and definitely have a lot of lethality next turn. Okay, they wisely take care of the unicorn. They see strength and know to take care of that. Healer's Hawk, sure. So we'll take our medicine here. Another patrol. So if we gird now, we definitely do the patrol. We likely do probably the recruit. I think we'll do that. Could also play another patrol, but this kind of makes sense to me since we can potentially kill them here. Not super likely, but potentially. Mentor here. I mean, it's totally possible we just kill them right here. They can only block one thing. They're not even blocking. Okay. Well, in that case. So that's lethal right there. Wow. Okay. So it does look like a fairly aggressive build. Is it as aggressive as we are, though? They have the lifelinkers. I don't know how aggressive they are yet. We had such an explosive start there. Righteous Blow does deal with the Hawk. I mean, once again, it really comes down to how do we want to win? Do we need to win via Siege Worms, or would we prefer to just bring in a little lifelink package here and just win through whatever means we want? It might be wiser to do the lifelink package rather, because they're not doing. If they were like a Demir or another like an opposing slower Selesnya deck, I'd be much happier with our main deck build. But they seem aggressive enough where I think we still definitely win if we go the life gain route. So we'll cut the Gorgon too. And we'll do something like this. It makes our quick lethal a little bit more challenging, but it makes our Might of the Masses more powerful later, which I think is going to be good for us. Once again, very good hand. We'll keep. Okay. So they're kind of, looks like they're going go wide tokens build, which might, now I guess I'm more trying to think. For a go wide build, would I rather have the lifelink package or the big creature package? Probably the lifelink. I feel like a go wide deck can deal, I mean, they can deal a lot more than 20 damage, so I guess it depends. Grappling Sundew. So it looks like they're taking the more defensive stance now, surprisingly. Um, okay, so we'll just drop a Stray here. Seems fine. We've got answers for things, so card advantage could not hurt. Luminous Bonds is going to be worse against a token-based deck, but I'm not really concerned about it as of yet. Luminous Bond's in general worse against any sort of Convoke deck too. But then again, I mean, you just hit whatever the Convoke creature is like this. So we can take care of the Centaur and attack. Can even gird for battle, which is kind of nice. I think we will. Okay. Healer's Hawk. A good card to get. Alright, so we can go Unicorn here. Leave up the Might of the Masses. Can actually kill both of those without using Might of the Masses, which I kind of like more. It's just a 2/3. Get their 2 creatures. I think I'm gonna be okay with that. To me, I'd rather have the Might than a 2/3 Generous Stray. Honestly, it's a pretty even trade. I feel like we both walked out of that pretty reasonably. Luminous Bonds of their own. Okay, fair enough. So it might be time to use the Might for the grappling Sundew, or we can Bonds it instead. Which option do I like more? They do have the mana for the removal up, so maybe we do the Luminous Bonds. The Might's only getting better later. Luminous Bonds not necessarily. I don't want to Luminous Bonds a Healer's Hawk though either, do I? I think we're going to win the damage game with just the Peacemaker and the Recruit versus a Hawk. So let's start that now, I think. We'll Bonds this Grappling Sundew, get in, play the Peacemaker, and pass. And we both gain life from this, but Might of the Masses is currently a giant growth, so that seems pretty good to me. Okay, Swath Cutter Giant. Rock Charger, pretty good. Let's just get in with the Recruit for now. And we'll drop a Rock Charger. Okay. So we probably have to kill the Swath Cutter Giant. And I can't block the Hawk now because okay. So, all right. I think the plan now is to probably stay back. We're going to have to find a way to kill Tajik here. And I think ultimately I'm going to go back. I think, should I go back towards the Siege Worm plan or the Lifelink plan? I can't actually decide. Guess we can do Dissident and we can actually pump it, which is pretty valuable. So, this is a tough plan. I think we should probably kill Tajik. So we probably block like this. Which means we're going to take 9 damage, which is a lot, but I feel like if we don't kill Tajik, it's going to get too much. Too much Mentor value. Because it gets the Legionnaire next turn, which is going to hurt us pretty considerably as well. So this is interesting. They are aggro, but they also have a lot of Luminous Bonds. So I definitely will be wiser now with my Luminous Bonds. Actually, I think it was perfectly reasonable what I did. They just sort of outdrew us there with the Giant into the Tajik, into the Legionnaire, into the Garrison Sergeant. Meanwhile, I think we did... What did we do? A Devkaren Dissident, nothing else? Yeah, that doesn't seem very good. Let's see here, 7. So we probably have to jump here and kill this. And then gain 3. Do I go back to the... This is the tough part here, because I need to decide what to do. Maybe we can do the Righteous Blow, actually. Righteous Blow, now that I think about it, is looking pretty good. Kills Tajik, kills Legionnaire, kills Healer's Hawk. I think that's reasonable. So we'll do that. We'll bring in the Righteous Blow. And what else do we want to bring in? I still do like the life gain. Yeah, this is tough. We're going to bring in the Righteous Blow. What do I cut? What's not working? Maybe the Righteous Blow over a Gird for battle? I don't love that. And I can't cut a creature, because we're at 15 with the Sworn Companions. So it's a spell. I guess it's the Gird for battle then. Luminous Bond still seems very good. Okay. I don't know if I want to get back on the seed run plan. I think the lifelink plan is probably, the life gain plan rather, is probably better for us. We do have an out for their enchantment, but it doesn't seem worth it to me. Okay, this seems reasonable. So I just have to be much more tactical with my plays here. We're going to mulligan this one. This one we get to keep. And the beetle. The beetle's not bad. I feel like we're a little bit more desperate for a land, however. Okay, land there was pretty important. No play, so that kind of tells me there's a combat trick of some sort. Hmm. Um, I don't really want to lose Amara. Why don't we just attack with the soldier? I want to see what happens. So they take that. We can play the rock charger, which is good with the Amara. Or we can do the Sworn Companions. I think we'll do the rock charger. Letting our Amara fly over top seems good to me. And we can also just, I guess, slam a Restorer if need be. Okay. They take care of Amara, which is probably a good idea on their part. So we can play the Restorer, but I think we'd rather have a Unicorn here. So we'll get in. And then drop a Unicorn, I think. Okay, so they have a double striking Sergeant. We just need a trick and I think we're okay. Guildgate. Well, we can fly over top. But I think we are going to fly over top. So maybe we just play the Parhelion Patrol. Okay. So we'll get in for 5 here. The Restorer can block the Sergeant, so I'm probably willing to take 6 here. We're going to take the Hawk. I'm going to play around a trick. I'd kind of like to keep my patrol if possible. Hmm. Okay. That's an interesting one. Okay. Righteous Blow is pretty good. Can at least deal with a Hawk. So we can do the Sworn Companions, and I can still cast the Restorer, I believe, right? 4, 5, 6, yeah. Okay. So we go Companions, and then we attack with these folks here. Rock Charger there. Unicorn Pump. Mentor on the Rock Charger. So we'll get in all of that damage, and then we'll just play a Restorer here, which can technically block their Double Striker if we want. Should probably do. Wow. Conceded the match there. That's surprising. All right, well, definitely taking it. We'll see you round 3. All right, round 3, we're going to keep this hand. Looks pretty good, a little bit slow, but certainly keepable. They want us on the play, too, so I don't know if that means they're going to be Demir and we're going to be the aggressor. I'm not sure. Or just their Golgari deck. That was a good draw. Okay. Stray is looking good here. Okay. Abzan, okay. All right. Unicorn, very good draw. So next turn we can possibly drop the Siege Worm, depending on land draw or not. A Locket. Well, you don't see those too often. Debating an attack there longer than I thought they would, so we could get in for 5, and they could attack back for 2. I still think we end up with a better net gain there, so let's get in. Burglar Rat, So we probably are going to discard Luminous Bonds. And Crawl Harpooner, sure. So 2 cards left in their hand. We'll just drop a Siege Worm, I'm thinking. Parhelion Patrol, not bad either. They do have a Reach guy, but we also have some Mentor. But I think we can drop a Siege Worm reasonably here. Make them have the removal. If they do, they get in for some damage. I still think we're probably okay taking one attack from their current squad. Okay, cashing in the locket, which is probably wise. And we get to get in with everything here. And see what happens, huh? Because they probably block Harpooner on Unicorn. And we probably might pass that and save the Luminous Bonds for something fat, which I'm okay with. They're going for the triple block here, so we'll kill the lifelinking soldiers, which is funny because it doesn't actually put any creatures in their graveyard. Okay. Looks good. We have the Luminous Bond in case. Maybe I was supposed to sandbag the land, now that I think about it, because they are playing Burglar Rat, which is a common. And they already took care of one of our Luminous Bonds. Peacemaker. Well, that was unexpected. And a Recluse. You got it. One card left. So I suppose we can just go ahead and bonds the oh, Gird for battle. Jeez. That's really nasty. And we'll bonds the Peacemaker actually. Then we can mentor on the Unicorn. That's really mean. Necrotic Wound. Well, that's sensible. Problem is it doesn't kill my guy. So we'll just get in with this. It doesn't, I mean, it puts a creature in their graveyard, so I shouldn't say it does nothing. It didn't attack with the patrol because the Recluse has reach, but ultimately I think this is fine. They're down to one resource and we've got a nice looking army at the moment. Okay, so they took care of our threat, which puts us back to needing some good draws. Okay, they got a big flyer. I guess we can bonds that. Okay, so we're going to lose our really good creature. This match seems very winnable, just based on what I've seen. Obviously, we're not drawing exceptionally well right now, but this seems like a highly winnable match, definitely. So Crush Contraband can kill the monument, but I don't think we see any other enchantments of theirs. So, not sure about that. Okay, that's a high value spell, so that's going to cause problems. So, we definitely want to go full-fledged aggro mode, hardcore full-fledged, as aggro as humanly possible, because that's how we're going to win this. Um, Anything else I want to bring in from sideboard? Do I want to cut the curve down? The Siege Worm did really good. Can I get more of them? Because we only saw basically one removal spell from them that I'm worried about this game, which is the Price of Fame. So, do I dare bring more Siege Worms in? Like the third to get more top end. Try and bring in like a Hunted Witness and a Blade Instructor. And then basically maybe cut like a Luminous Bonds. Maybe not bring. Maybe, well, maybe not bring in the Blade Instructor. No, I do like it. It's not good. It doesn't pair well against the Hitchclaw Recluse, whereas Pitiless Gorgon does. And do I dare cut another Luminous Bond? Probably not. Let's just not do the Witness. I think this is as aggro as we can get. I like the bonds. I really do, actually, but to me it makes more sense to get just some more aggro in there. This hand is good. Great draw there. So we'll play the Rock Charger here. I'm debating blocking here. I think there's really no reason for them to not attack because they can't block, so I think I am going to block. Like, they can deadweight it now, but they could just deadweight our recruit anyway, so that's fine with me, yeah. Turned out to be the right decision, which is good. I like it when I make the right decision. So let's get in for some damage above here. I could have girded for battle, but to be honest, I'd rather play like a stray and hit a land drop or something. I could also just bonds the peacemaker. I think I'll do this stray though. Yeah, because this puts us into siege worm territory. Seems a lot better to me. Take our medicine here. Sworn companions. Okay, well, we have the generous stray to block that, which is nice. So siege worm number 2. We can start dropping siege worms, or we can do sworn companions. Maybe we want to do the companions plus gird for battle right now. I kind of like that more. Because that way, if they have removal, we're going to tempt them to really be using that on our other guys here. And now we can start dropping siege worms, potentially. Unless we have to luminous bond something, which I'm okay with. Statue, good. So we got that out of the way. I think that's wise. Because I think the siege worm is a better creature for us. And now maybe they use... Well, they don't have necrotic wound, so... Okay, poisoner. That's going to be good against our siege worm, I suppose. I'll definitely triple block a peacemaker. It's a good trade for us. Like, it maybe gets us a little bit further, whatever, from the siege worm, but ultimately, a generous stray plus a soldier token is a great trade for us for a peacemaker. It's very fair. I might have just killed the soldier tokens. Well, maybe not. Okay, so let's just drop a siege worm now. We have a backup one if they have more removal. Okay, they do a whole lot of death touch. So let's go siege worm number 2 while we still can. Then we're gonna have to start luminous bonding some things here. So let's say I bonds the Gorgon and gird for battle. Suppose we do. And then, let's see. What do I gird? Just the siege worms, and then they take some... Well, okay. Then they can attack back with their lifelinkers. Kind of want my soldier to have lifelink. Okay, here's what we do. We attack the siege worms. They're going to block one. I don't think they're going to block both. It's possible. Not super likely. So we get a bunch of damage in, and then we gird here, because that way we can keep their soldiers back, which I think is good. Okay. Yeah, I think that probably is going to do us in, just because of the card draw, but let's not be a Debbie Downer. We can still just top deck some craziness here, but yeah, I think that's probably going to do it. Uh, I mean, Mighty the Masses is very good. It's not enough to kill on this board. Okay. Well, it was a pretty good run with this deck. I enjoyed it. I mean, we'll play it out, but it's definitely over as expected after the camaraderie here. But really like this deck a lot. I think this is one of my more powerful ones. I'm triple Mighty the Masses is outrageous. Frankly, I think we didn't nearly abuse that as much as this deck could have. It's very, very abusive, as you saw in game one. Tended to get flooded quite a bit. I'm still on the fence with ever really running a 15 land deck. It seems extremely dangerous to me to ever really run 15 lands. So it's just so difficult for me to ever get behind that. But we did get flooded pretty consistently, I would say. Even in the matches we won, I would say any game we lost was probably due to some flooding. So something to consider. But amazing deck, a lot of fun to play. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back for the next one. We'll see you then.